can't believe it's already been over a year since I built my Ragley Marley Hardtail. Time for a long-term bike check. So let's see how everything has held up in the last 12 months. If you haven't seen the original build and the bike check videos, I'll post links to them above. So let's talk about what I liked and what I disliked about this build. First, let's talk about the frame. Ragley is a brand based out of the UK. They're known for offering aggressive hardtails at a value price. The Ragley Marley frame is optimized for a 130mm fork, perfect for many of the typical trails you find here in the Midwest. The frame feels great with a good balance of responsiveness and compliance. It doesn't feel harsh like a lot of aluminum hardtail frames. The fork I'm running is a Fox 34 Performance Elite. This is Fox's mid-range fork, which has the Fit 4 damper. The Fit 4 damper is nice. It has a 3-position switch with open, firm, and lockout settings, plus the ability to fine-tune the low-speed compression. I did make one modification to the fork since the original build. I installed an MRP ramp control cartridge. I've been riding this bike on everything from chunky trails to jump lines, and the ramp control is nice. I'll open it up on chattery trails to make the fork more linear, and I'll close it up when I'm on flowy trails or jumps to make it more progressive. The NX Eagle drivetrain has been reliable and quiet. The 170mm cranks are a good length for this bike, and the 11 to 50 cassette range is plenty. My only complaint is the NX Eagle cassette. It's a boat anchor at 612 grams. A little more money for a cassette would have shaved 200 grams easily. Oh, and I have plans for the drivetrain, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see what I'm up to. That drivetrain turns a pair of Crank Brothers Iodine 2 wheels. The Iodines are head turners, and people ask me about them all the time. They only have 24 spokes, but they're arranged in a triangle pattern, which according to Crank Brothers gives them strength without the added weight. They're also a truly tubeless design. There are no spoke holes on the rims, so they require no tape. Believe it or not, Crank Brothers has these categorized as Enduro wheels. They've performed very well and have taken some pretty hard hits and crashes. They're still true, so I can't complain about their durability. But there are some downsides to these wheels. First is the unique design, which means proprietary spokes. If you break spokes on the road, you better have spares with you. The second downside is the hub engagement. It's pretty lacking at 18 degrees. After spending some time riding high engagement hubs, the lack of quick engagement is noticeable. Traction comes via Continental Tires. They're barren up front, Trail King in the rear. Braking and traction have been great with these tires. Speaking of brakes, the stopping power comes from a pair of Magura MT5s, which is basically overkill on this bike. 200mm rotor up front, 180mm in the back. Stopping power and modulation on demand. I couldn't be happier. The E13 TRS Plus dropper post has been working, but I don't like it. It's mechanical with fixed positions and is distracting on the trail. I get why they originally created this thing, but it's just useless in this day and age because droppers are just so much more reliable. It's going to get replaced. I swapped the Crank Brothers Stamp 2 pedals for a more aggressive set of Canfield crampons. The pedals have a lot of grip, which I felt was lacking with the Stamp 2s that I originally installed. The geometry is more descent focused, but it can still climb with authority. This custom build is fun and playful. The slack head angle makes the bike very capable going downhill. It's nimble and quick. Most of all, it's versatile. So what do you think of the build? Would you do it differently? What should I upgrade? Let me know in the comments. Also, since you've gotten this far, please consider subscribing to the channel. It costs nothing and it makes me happy. Bob Marley once wrote, "Though the road's been rocky, it sure feels good to me." I'm looking forward to many more rocky roads on his namesake bike. I hope you enjoyed this leg of my journey. Thanks for watching.